Is music theory something that's utterly unapproachable to you? Have you tried to dabble and take a look and try to figure out how music works and found that this is not for me. This is too complicated. It's like studying algebra. Let me tell you something. Music theory, in a lot of ways, is like algebra. It's very formulaic, let's say. However, when you begin to push past, when you begin to get a handle on the various topics and concepts, that's a good word, concept. Music theory is very conceptual. They use the whole formulas and whatnot to try to capture the dynamic of the concepts. My goal in these videos is to open up the concepts to you more, to take away the mystery, the enigma. How did they say? There was an old cartoon. The guy says it's like a riddle inside of a puzzle, inside of an enigma, something like this. It feels like that. It feels unapproachable. I know it certainly did to me many years ago when I first, was a teenager with my guitar trying to figure out all this stuff. And, I was blessed because by the time I was, say, 17, 18, I could at least look up stuff and find some early websites. So we're living in a great time. However, I feel that music theory is oftentimes unnecessarily complicated. And so the focus here is to open up the concepts, to make it simple. I have found that even children can understand music, how music works to an extent. And they can get the foundations. And therefore, I believe that in these same little videos that I'm making, I can transfer this knowledge to you. That's what I hope to do. And I have confidence that if you hang around, that will take place. You will have a strong command of these concepts and be able to use them to build out your own music, to create your own sounds. You see, music theory is a beautiful thing because what it does is it allows you to hear something and analyze it and be able to figure out what exactly was done to create that sound. Now, the author of that sound may or may not have been knowledgeable of the music theory. So sometimes people make up really cool stuff, but they don't really know how they did it. And then sometimes people, they start with the concepts that I'm talking about here, music theory, and they use it to create the sounds. You can write or create music either way. But whether or not, however it was created, it can be analyzed after the fact to try to figure out what was done from a theory perspective. So music theory, again, is the attempt to understand how music works and how we can sort of use concepts to manipulate the way stuff sounds. And that can in turn allow you to write your own music, your own melodic lines, your own background harmonies, your ability to compose something that can invoke a mood. You ever go sit down in a diner and they're playing like a restaurant and they're playing like smooth jazz in the background, and it creates a certain type of mood, right? That it's dark and there's You hear plates clanking in the background, and this smooth jazz creates a certain atmosphere. But the jazz, the theory, the musical concepts that are used to create that music is what's creating that effect. So I'm going to be doing a shorter video today. We're going to review. You have low pitch. You have basically notes are assigned to various pitches using the musical alphabet. You have A through G are the letters of the musical alphabet. The truth is, there's actually notes in between those letters, though. We call those notes that are in between sharps and flats. There's a lot of explanation that has to go into really fully revealing why that's the case, but let's just memorize the words sharps and flats. Sharps and flats. These are notes that go in between A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And remember that it repeats in the next higher pitched octave as A, B, C, D, E, F, G again, but they're higher, they're up an octave. We had stated that intervals can be defined as the distance between two notes. And when you play two notes either at the same time or close together in time, it creates an effect that happens when those two notes are near to each other, which can create feelings or moods, colors. And this is really where, in my opinion, harmony is sort of born in the world of music. Harmony. What's harmony? Harmony is, my definition, it's the way when notes are played near to each other in time. How does that make you feel? Sometimes two notes can be together in the same space and sound really nice together. They just pass over each other so smoothly and creates a nice, clean effect. And then there's other times where you put two notes together in the same space and it's like putting fighting cats in the same space. They don't rub against each other very well at all. They create what we call dissonance. So we have more harmonious type sounds and we have more dissonant or uncomfortable sounding sounds when we have various intervals in the same space. The thing is, all of that will fall under the umbrella of harmony or harmonic, like harmony theory, the theory of how things harmonize. But understand the foundational unit of that is, in essence, the interval. How far apart are those two notes? How far apart are they relative to one another in pitch? And that distance will determine how they sound when they're close together in time. Okay? So it's the distance between the notes that creates the relative pitch. It's another way to call it, relative pitch. How far apart in pitch are these related to one another? Relative pitch. Okay? So relative pitch is what's created by the intervals. And relative pitch is what creates the way the intervals feel. And when we're studying and referencing on an instrument, say, we need to look at the notes to be able to tell what we're looking at. And it's very specific in the way they assign notes and the way that they label things. But we have A to G as our notes, and we have sharps and flats between them. The way that works is you have A, and then you have A sharp, which means one note higher than A, and then you have B. See, A sharp, B. And some of these notes, let's say that all of the notes have sharps in between them, except there's an example rule between B and C, and E and F don't have sharps. And flats is similar, but I'll do that in the next video, okay? But this is going to be the next installment, and we're going to continue to add and add, making things as simple as possible to understand. Because I really do believe you can understand music theory. If you spend time in the material, you'll learn it. And these videos are designed to really take it nice and easy and slow, because I believe that when it comes to learning, slow is fast. Sometimes when you're in a rush, your brain can't process things at that speed. You need to slow it down first, and then you get faster results. And this is definitely the case with music theory, and it's definitely the case with explaining the concepts of music theory. So that's why I'm taking it very slow, and I'm repeating so we can recognize and gain familiarity with the concepts. They become like a familiar face. Anyway, that's all for today. You have a blessed day, and you're going to do it. You're going to be able to understand this music theory stuff, and we're going to make it as painless and effortless as possible. But you need to be patient, and you need to take the time to be slow. It's okay to be slow. Be slow, because then your command of the material will grow more quickly. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.